Thaddeus isn't whole.
Look at this mess. You're paying for this mess. I hope you got an inheritance coming. This is one of them for the rest of your natural-born life type debts right here.
I really didn't mean to blow up your porch, and whatever this room is supposed to be. I just came here to talk. My name's Jack.
It's called a parlor, Jack, where you entertain guests. Would have done anyway, had I any actual burning desire to ever have guests. I need some coffee in here. I'm gonna box your ears, I swear. You want any?
That'd be great. I really am sorry. I wish none of this had happened.
If wishes were horses, beggars would ride.
What's a horse?
I don't know. Never seen one. Died out in the early parts of the war. That's what you're here about, right?
I don't need a horse.
No, dummy. The war. You a deserter? You look scared.
What? No, Why would you think that?
Some men's eyes, they got a little bunny in them. Yours do. Hopping around. Maybe not always, but right now. Something's got you scared out of your mind.
We're going to lose the war. No one knows how to stop Sandrak, and I'm afraid of what comes after.
You should be. What he's done to Saren, to Kelthus, he wins, that's what he'll do to everyone. So how's he doing it? Snuffing out the fonts.
You know about that?
Kid, I got scry stones in every damn corner of Aveum. You start seeing ley lines winking out in all the wrong places, gives you pause. If I had to guess, the world's poorer by about 3 fonts.
3? He got to another one?
Oh, yeah. As soon as the font in Rasharn went dark, he must have beelined for the one in Kelthus. His occupation would have made it easy pickings.
They're not really gone. Sandrax absorbed their power using some kind of artifact of Aristea. A binding stone, a Throttacol. That's why I'm here. The Immortals believe you're the only one that might know what the stone really is.
So, Kirkin still hate me?
I've heard she's not a big fan of yours, but, I mean, she's never mentioned you to me.
Well, you gotta be new then.
No, I've been her student for 5 years now.
Well, she must be working up to it. This binding stone of yours, look like this otherwise innocent bit of business, yeah?
Yeah. It's that bad?
Walk with me. Easier just to show you. Calm your tits. Won't hurt none, promise.
How are you doing this?
With panache, it's called a mind walk. A trick I picked up in Rasharn back in the day.
This is Rasharnian magic?
What about it? It's the most elegant and creative Magni alive. No, don't let King Dipshit and his Confederates spoil the barrel. Let me show you some history. This is Aveum in the time of Aristea. 1,000 years and some change ago.
The wound. It's small.
Yep. Just a teensy thing back then. We Magni hadn't gone buck wild yet. Aristea brought out the worst in us, and it's all because of this thing. A binding stone. They used it to commune with the fonts. And some idiot decided to use it to control them instead. Let's just say things got out of hand. Sandrak's doing the same damn thing. History loves a sequel.
What are we looking at here?
The place they built the binding stone, called a shrine forge. Suspected somewhere in eastern Orman.
You've got to give me something better than that.
What if I could, son? Orman's a damn big place. And it doesn't help that it blew itself up some 20-odd years ago. Now, unless you got more questions, we can head back. Well, what's it gonna be?
So that's the big secret of how Aristea fell. Just one more casualty of the Everwar?
The lure of the binding stone was too much. We see magic, Jack. We eventually get greedy. Can't help ourselves but to sink down to our basest nature. Even the mighty Aristea could only keep its head up for a year or two.
A year or two? Their ruins are everywhere, whole cities of them. And they were way more advanced than ours. That can't be right.
Aristea, the bastion of high learning and magical ingenuity, capable of miracles uncountable. They're Magni demigods among men. Yeah, that what you're talking about?
Well...
Don't know what to tell you, kid. Getting too close to magic turns us all dead stupid. It's like the Everwar's our natural state of being. Despite everything you've been told, Aristea was just a blip.
When the Aristea used the Binding Stone to commune with the fonts, what happened?
They all about turned into little penisods in a matter of days. Spread their new magic know-how like brushfire until they were pulling cities out of the ground like it was nothing. Bunch of idiots. Who cares that it was causing the wound to grow at an exponential rate? Oh, they'd fix that later.
Fix it later. We haven't changed.
Not 1 inch.
I need to get back to the Palathon. Tell them what I found out.
Fair enough. Wait a minute. You feel that?
Feel what?
Someone's in here with us. Hold on.
What?
Stay out of my way, Jack.
Get down, kid! Ah!
No!
Son of a bitch!
Thanks.
Go on, go after her!
I'm not leaving you here.
I'm done for, kid. She was in our minds. She gets away, Sandrak will know y'all are gonna go after the Shrine Forge.
Gotta catch her. by the ley line. Hurry it up, Jack. Come on. She's over there.
fish. Razrazaverzaventum.
Please don't be you. How are you alive?
No, don't.
Why didn't you try to find me?
Don't do that.
Do what?
Ask me a question you won't accept the answer to.
How can you be with them?
That's the one.
I can't believe it.
Jack, report in, soldier.
Yeah, I'm here, sir. I found out the Binding Stone was created in a shrine forge somewhere in eastern Oromon. No exact location, but it's a start. Bad news is, I think Thaddeus died helping us find that out. I'm sorry, sir. I know you two were close.
Don't blame yourself.
I had a tail. Sandrak will know we're coming for the shrine forge.
That just means we'll come heavy. Return to the Palathon for mission planning.
I see how it is. You're not going to even ask if I'm okay, or explain why my bloody face got pulled through a Farkle stone, or how you're evidently pals with an Alori now.
Buddy, since I set out on this mission, I've had my politics questioned, my pants criticized, told my eyes were full of bunnies, and...
And what?
Oh, it's... nothing. It's just been a lot, you know? We'll catch up when I get back. Your lordship.
Jack?
What's the deal with you and Kirkin? She literally doesn't talk about you. Like, she doesn't even really consider you part of the Order.
I'm sure that sometimes she wishes I wasn't. I'm an Eye of Lavenry as well as an Immortal. She may think the real reason for my being at the Palathon is to keep tabs on her.
But she had to approve you joining us. I don't get it.
Marcello the Lesser? Albus the False Ionetian, the Lord's Grux, the Wax Witch of Deladel? All of them were Kirkin's enemies, here and abroad.
Operative word being were.
Now you understand how I got her endorsement. I'm a useful tool to her, Jack. You should only read Kirkin's silence as a shield of plausible deniability. If we're not seen talking, no one can prove she gave the kill order.
Talk to you later, Hauser. Ambassador Damley.
Hello, Jack.
How widely known is it that Sandrak was an immortal?
Too widely for the Crown's liking. Still, given his record and years of service to Lucium, it's hard to hide it without resorting to somewhat amoral magic.
I spent 5 years in the Lights Army with Kirkin as my mentor, and I had no idea.
Losing him was a blow. He was a hero to Lucium. Rasham's strongest son, fighting against the corruption of his homeland. Many thought he would win us this war.
Until he became the war. So why did he quit and rejoin Rasharn?
Only one person in the Palathon knows that, and I can guarantee you she won't tell.
I hear Kirkin's the only one keeping us from surrendering to Rasharn.
You wound me, Jack. Who do you think convinced the king to speak with her in the first place? After Nocia, confidence in the Palathon's ability to wage this war...
Got shaken a bit?
It cratered.
Ouch.
Kirkin and I have our differences, but we both agree that it's crucial for the king to have faith in a Lucian victory. Ask Kalthus what Sandrak's peace looks like.
How well did you know Kirkin's predecessor, Thaddeus?
Not at all. His tenure was a long time ago. By all accounts, the Palathon and Lavenry enjoyed a less contentious relationship then. Grand Magnus Thaddeus was very popular in the capital.
Really?
His resignation from the Immortals was a bit of a scandal for reasons I'm not privy to. Naming Kirkin as his replacement caused a few raised eyebrows as well, but the royal family traditionally avoids interfering with the hierarchy of your order.
I have to go, Ambassador. Hey, Orphe. What's shaking?
We're probably at your graduation party, where we're politely refusing to remove our mask. Or we're discussing Aristea again.
Are you sure that's where we are?
Forgive us if we aren't, Candle. The years get wet in our head.
Right. It's the seer part of being a seer, I guess. The kind of time-jumpy thing with you.
Red, chaos, green, transition. They mixed when we were given our magic by the Pentasod. One lives in our right eye, the other in our left.
Causing a temporal thingamajig. Got it. And probably at this point I asked to see your eyes.
You'll forgive us if we say no. We hope.
So as a seer, you're what? Like maybe our reconnaissance officer or something? You look for what's coming our way?
We work as an intelligence specialist, yes. Remote recon is part of our duties. You're convincing Zendara to let you walk the path, for example.
That's back a ways, actually. But Kirkin said you can see the future, too.
In theory, half the time.
What?
We know, for example, that you must eventually refrain from making covenant with the low beasts of the field.
Is that code? It sounds like code.
Maybe, but Devon's our codebreaker, so it's best to ask him. Wait. No, you never do. Sounds like it's settled then.
So with your, special sight, do you know who wins the Everwar?
Depending on when we look. Sometimes. Malbiage is winning it now against the Kel. Oh, we're 12,000 years ago, when sigils were worn as crowns.
Not so much then.
Eternal things, like the Everwar or the Aristea. Time runs out of room to record them. Room and desire. When things get too old, time loses interest.
Yeah, I don't... You know, that sounds weird, right? No offense.
Oh, it's very weird. Aggravating, too. We want to know if Rasharn secures a decisive victory as much as you do. Time's just not paying attention to it.
I've been meaning to ask you about your mask.
It has nothing to do with Rasharn's Order of Masks. They are little more than a broken cult, playing with trinkets and damnation.
Oh, whoa, I totally wasn't gonna make that connection.
The Akal settled along the western rain valleys long ago. This was before the Gaterond, the cataclysm that claimed them all, except for me.
Hold up, I think you might have skipped ahead.
Oh, we were talking about our tally mask? It shifts through all the faces of my people, each and every one. You're unable to see it, of course. We were the only Yakala to survive. So we wear the rest of their faces in memory.
Then it's like the wall of names, your mask. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
It's only a mask, Candle. We could never get upset. Sadly, we could not. The Thradakul is an Aristean art.
Wait, did you just read my mind?
We can't do that. Such magic was outlawed at Atheron.
Okay, but then how did you...
Oh, of course. You're just catching up to the discussion you started. As we were saying, Nosia's fate was hidden from us, as was Sandrak's breach of the war chamber. The Thradakul is an Aristean artifact. Those always put tiny perforations in time. Look too close to pasts or futures in their proximity. Pages get torn away.
Huh. Maybe that's how it lay hidden for so long. Seers can't see it clearly.
Nor scrying glass. Sometimes, however, holes in time have movements. Context. Tilt your eyes and predictions can occur. That's how a lot of our counterintelligence is done against enemies using chronoflage. It's unfortunate that no such methods would have worked at Nosia.
Orphe, you're gonna love this one. Turns out Aristea, the Eternal Empire, they only lasted 2 years.
In a particular version of Aveum, that's true.
I so knew you'd say something like that. The truth is really a time-fuckety thing, isn't it?
We're rubbing off on you. The truth is that their empire's communion with the Fonts awakened a kind of inhuman consciousness in and between the magic of Aveum itself. The Fonts had previously operated independently, but now they were sending messages back and forth through the minds of the Aristea. And they were so delighted to know loneliness no longer that they created the Untime.
Untime.
The Pentadi called it the Stillness. Civilizations can flourish in it if they can figure out a way to keep hold of causality in a space that has no meaning of the word. They never do. Aristea has always been forever and yet less than 1,000 days. How's that for time, fuckety, my little candle?
Good chat, Orphe.
Welcome back, sir. They're waiting for you in the war chamber.
Silas,
Hello, sir.
Sundown 10. Kirkin never talks about that battle.
That's strange, sir. She found her glory names there. Fury of the Broken March, the Warbird of Aquil. That's a tradition that's fallen out of favor, names of glory. I don't know why, they sound so crackerjack. Sundown 10's where the Grand Magnus had the accident with her arm, you know?
Hold on, you know that story?
Only as my father tells it. He says that after days and days of fighting, the Grand Magnus ended up overloading her sigil until it just fused into her arm.
Sigils are used to level your magic. That shouldn't have happened.
Father did say the Grand Magnus was arguing with her sigil constantly to lift that restriction. One day it finally gave in.
What? You can't do that.
I don't know, sir. She can be very intimidating.
I'd better go.
This is insane. The surface of Eastern Orman is an endless desert. We'll never find the Shrine Forge this way.
I'll switch back to the islands just above the Tempest layer.
The conquering hero returns.
Hey, hero. See if you can make out anything but sand.
Really with this? Already?
Why are we looking at sand?
Thaddeus gave me the history of Sandrak's Binding Stone. As you say, sir, it's some real end-of-time shit. The Aristea couldn't survive it, so our chances are on the wrong side of 0. Before he died, Thaddeus told me that the Shrine Forge used to create this Binding Stone was...
Under all that sand.
Maybe. He didn't specify whether it was on the surface, which is completely blasted by magical fallout, or the islands above, which stretch out forever west.
Wait a second. Did you say Thaddeus died?
Yeah, the Hand of Sandrak was following me. Had a team of Nightblades with her, and...
What matters now is that we have a location for a location. And that's better than yesterday. We find this Shrine Forge, we're one step closer to finding some weakness in Sandrak's hold over the Binding Stone.
I'll break out our scrying records on Rasharnian troop movements in Orman within the last year.
You know, they say one after effect of being inside a massive volcano is dehydration.
I'm just tired.
Get some rest. Narrowing down this search to anything actionable is likely to take all night.
I might have an idea on how to shorten that.
This was extraordinary work, Initiate.
Thank you, sir.
Jack, hold up. Zendara's right. You do the Immortals proud, my friend. And it's great to see you back in one piece after that whole adventure.
Thanks, Dev. It's good to see you too.
Just now, when you were telling us about Thaddeus, I noticed something might have been distracting you.
Really? Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean.
Your face at one point, it was like you'd seen a ghost. Forgive me for prying. I'm sure...
I saw someone I used to know, and she's in trouble. Look, this isn't the place, but I'll fill you in when I can.
What kind of trouble?
This is not the place.
Oh, right. Right you are.
And, keep it to yourself, okay?
Why would you even have to ask that?
You can't be serious.
Point? I promise to keep it to myself. Also, I'm so very sorry if I embarrassed you in front of your Ilori friend. Is friend the right word? I know I embarrassed myself.
His name's Rook. But one thing at a time, Devin. I gotta head out.
I haven't forgotten. I still owe you a conversation about Sandrak having been an immortal. But finding the Shrine Forge is priority 1 right now.
You heard the Grand Magnus. Return to quarters, get some rest.
Luna's alive. What am I supposed to do with that?
You look like you could use some sleep, sir.
Your lordship.
Jack?
Talk to you later, Hauser.